have the names. No, even too bright the color.
Yeah. Promo. When you enter on home, it must be accept home. Okay. I don't know. If you find Catan Europe on Devir in YouTube, maybe. Hello. Here we are at final European Championship here on Devir TV. I have by my side Joe. How are you, Joe?
I'm very well, thank you. Great to be here.
Well, you have participated on the tournament.
Yes, so I qualified as the UK champion and played in the first round yesterday.
Great.
Sadly didn't make it to the semi-finals and finals today, but it's great to be part of this great competition.
Sure. Now we have the four people that they are gonna try to be the best Catan player of Europe right now, sitting around the table. They are from 4 different countries, I think. We have Netherlands, also we have Serbia, Norway, and I missed one, John?
I think from Lithuania.
Lithuania,
Right.
great.
Okay.
Maybe we can have the names of the guys. We have them here. Jesús, how are you doing?
Very well.
We have a Jesús here as well, a person that's very implicated on Catan things here in Spain. He has been on all Spanish Catan final national, isn't Jesús? Tournaments?
Long years ago, yes.
Okay.
Many
Then
years ago.
we have Selma Dorrestein from Netherlands that has a color red.
Yes.
We have as well Evaldas Ruthkauskas from Lithuania, blue. Milutin Nikolic from Serbia with color white. And Martin Gaze from Norway, color orange. And they are just setting up their first cities. Color red started. What do you think about it, John?
So I'm not surprised at that first placement. The double oar is a very strong spot. It's there's a reasonable balance of resources on this board. Maybe a little light on the grain.
Yeah.
But that double oar was always going to be a very attractive spot. I don't know what position each of the contestants chose to sat in. But I think Selma qualified as the highest participant, so she got to choose first. And she saw that spot and decided that was the spot for her.
Okay,
Which I
she
think
has
is
a little advantage then.
Yeah, strong move. But there were a number of other good spots on this board, so I think we're set up for a close game.
Great. Color blue started as well, really near from red. I think the participants take their time to think this first setting up. There have been tables that took like half an hour.
Yeah. In fact, I'm surprised how quickly we're seeing these go down in the final. Having seen the length of time sometimes it takes to decide. And we've got our third settlement going down now. So someone's jumped on that 5 grain, which again is not a surprise. It's the best grain hex on the board.
Yeah.
And whatever strategy you go for, whether you're going for development cards or cities or expansion, grain is essential to all of them. So I think Seat 3 has made a good move there.
Have you been making a game with any of the participations in the tournament, John?
Yes, so I played against Selma yesterday.
Ah, great.
So she was very strong in that game. It was the one game I did win yesterday, so that was nice to play against her and nice to have her in the final. I did not play against any of the other 3 finalists.
Great.
Not in the competition anyway. Me and Martin enjoyed a late night game of Catan
Ah,
at
yeah,
the
you did?
hotel. Yes,
great.
yeah.
Well, I think the feeling of all the players here, it's very, very good, very fun. People is enjoying the tournament.
It's amazing how quickly you build a community amongst players from all across Europe, people you haven't met before. Catan brings people together and bond.
Now we have another commentator here, very desired one. Benjamín Teuber, how are you doing?
Doing very good. Very excited for this last final round to play.
Yeah.
Looking forward to see that.
Well, have you seen those players play on the tournament before? What are your feelings about them? If you
I
have
have talked to Selma for quite a while yesterday, and
Great.
she seemed very determined and eager to win. And I have just watched Milo from Serbia playing, and was also a nice play. So I think we have 4 good players here.
Awesome. Well, people start to set up the first cities. Now we have orange player. Well, what do you think about this movement?
So the orange players managed to get a combination of 6 on wood and clay. So the orange player will be getting a road every time a 6 is rolled. So I think from position 4, orange, who is Martin, he'll be very happy with that, with those spaces being left for him to go on.
When developing games, we call this a road machine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we are trying to have live chat on. If you want to comment anything, we will be we'll try to be able to answer you. So only well, white player hasn't done anything yet.
White has jumped on the 8-10 ports, the 8 or 10
Oh,
wood
I see.
ports.
Yeah. Okay. See, there's some people in the chat saying things. Hook said that he is amazed about the white decision.
I understand White's thinking. White started with strong grain and really needs some ore to combine that with, and also on the 9 of clay, starting on the clay port I think is a strong move. And I doubt any of the players would have wanted to leave that space open for Selma in red to develop to. So I think that's a good move.
Great.
Yeah, I agree. Also, who knows? Maybe the 9 gets rolled often, and then there will be a lot of brick. So she has a brick harbor.
Yeah.
Hello to everyone who's looking at the final. Ivan says that the wheat will be expensive.
Yeah, and I think Martin from Norway with orange has set himself up not only on that 5 wheat but with the 3 as well, so he will be the wheat king. He'll be able to drive some good trading with that wheat.
The first setup, it's almost done, I think. It's done.
So I think Avaldis will be disappointed with where that final settlement of Selma has gone down on red. Obviously he put his road hoping to build there himself. So I think he will probably be the least happy of the players of these starting positions.
Jesús, what do you think about this setup? It's busy now. No problem. Semi-finals have been hard. They took a long time, and we had 2 Spanish players that we don't have anyone at their city, but this happens.
Well, the Netherlands have been competing in many European Championships yet.
They are strong then.
They're never surprised to be in the finals. That is true. But Spain was playing very, very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had also some fans here that were supporting them.
Yes.
the home advantage.
Yeah, a bit.
I was going to say the atmosphere that has been here has been really fantastic this weekend. Having members of the public coming in to watch and having the prize draws, it's really made an event of the final. And I think that's really helped with, probably for the Spanish players, but for all of the participants, it's felt like a really special experience.
Sure.
Yes, from sides of organization, I cannot agree more. Actually, this organization of this European Championship, thanks to Devir and all the team, has been wonderful.
Thanks to you, it has been really special, and the place is amazing. A lot of people is here right now looking the final, more than I expected, and it's a very cool environment right now.
Absolutely.
So some roads has been placed, I see.
Yes, both Orange and Red have managed to build a couple of early roads, and there's some good spaces to still develop to on this board. Often, certainly in the four-player game of Catan, after the initial settlements go down, there's not a lot of strong spaces left, but there are some good places for both Red and Orange certainly to build into on this board. Again, I think Blue is probably a little bit more limited with their expansion options.
Probably he's a bit stuck. We have Selma fans in our chat. She told me, she said, my fan club want to know where is broadcasted.
Good, that's nice.
Cool. Ivan Jimenez says that maybe the white it's the best settled, has the best position. Do you agree?
I don't know.
Jesús.
Oh, the white is interesting, but I think all of them has good position in the beginning.
I also think red is very interesting with the ore. Has a lot of ore, and ore is scarce. Apart from the 8 and 4, there's only the 2. So it's right in between there.
Yeah. Some people said on the chat that red has the best position to get Ruta Comercial. I don't know the name in English.
The longest road.
Yep.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
Well, certainly Red's first road placement on their second settlement was interesting, because that road is not going to anywhere that a settlement can go on the end. So I think Selma has probably already been thinking about that longest road in the long term.
Sure. It seems.
And I think the success of Orange in this game will come down to how much the robber sits on that 6 wood. Because we talked about the road engine, was it the road machine you called it?
The road machine, as we call it.
Road
Yes.
machine.
If that can get going, I think Orange will compete, but
Yes.
if it's blocked by the robber,
Yeah, that
they
is true.
struggle.
Well, Alvaro says that road and settlements strat seem a bit better in this match since there won't be much wheat around. What do you think about it? Sorry.
Well, no wheat means defeat, as an old saying. So
No
there
wheat means defeat. I
maybe
like it.
something about it. I think there will be a fight for the longest road, for sure. At least 2 players will compete, I assume. That could be red and orange. Well, orange, yeah. It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I think certainly white and probably red will be looking at the development card deck with their ore and their grain.
Yes.
Be a bit more difficult for red, as red isn't starting on sheep, so it may come down to how quickly white can get through the development card deck compared to how quickly we see the roads being built.
Yes,
It'll
absolutely.
be a race
Yes.
that way.
Red actually, so Selma has all options open currently with development cards and longest road building. Will depend on the dice.
Yep, as usual.
Yes, it's Catan.
Hook says that cities will be difficult because orange has the wheat and red the stone. They will have to do a bit of trade or something.
Yes, and again, this is where we had some comments about White's position being strong. White will not need to trade in order to get their cities.
From the outside perspective, I've realized that people trade a little bit less often in this championship than we trade at home, for example, when we develop games. Is that, how do you see that as a participant?
So I would agree with that. I think in the UK championships, there's a lot of trading that goes on, and I think often the stronger players will take advantage of that, and will get better trades against those who maybe haven't played so much. But kind of at the European Championship level, where everyone is a strong player, there's much more reluctance to give an advantage to your opponent. So the trade really has to work for you to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Something that you detected as well, Jesus?
It's harder to treat because everybody know what they're doing, and the trade must be more clear for everybody to happen.
By the way, I think we had a player from Portugal that was really strong on first rounds. He was the only one that won 3 games, and I've heard that he traded very much and very hard.
Well, that would fit to my assumption of Catan is about trading in the end. That is correct.
Hook says, "What about the ships? Blue has 8 on 8, and orange has on 12. That's all."
And we've got the Whites on the 10 as well.
White has number 10. Yep.
And I think that's Blue's big advantage in this game, that 8 sheep. We were talking about Blue maybe having less space to develop,
but
and not huge amounts of grain, but that 8 sheep is, again, they'll be able to drive some good trades from that.
Sure.
Oh, so Red built a city right now.
We have a city, the first city, right?
Position. That is good.
A lot of stone.
That will speed up.
To be strong here, better than
than in the
wheat.
In the wheat and the bricks. Oh, great. First city. The rubber hasn't done much, it seems, for now. Not many 7s. So if we can count points, how they are going.
Yes, so Red is currently leading with 3 points, together with Orange having 3 points equally, and Blue and White have 2 points with 2 starting settlements.
And there's always a tension when you're in a strong position early on. Do you try and become even stronger and dominate the game?
Oh yes.
Knowing that the robber will be on you for the rest of the game? Or do you try and hold back and avoid that attention? It's harder when you're building roads and settlements to do that. I think it's easier to hold back when you're buying development cards and you can just keep them face down. But
the low-balling strategy. That is absolutely true. But people in this tournament, I think they're the best ones of all Europe, so they see potential. That is the difference between playing at home and playing here. Am I right?
It's different, really.
Yes. Yes.
Well, by the way, I saw a lot of people laughing at tables in the tournament, but that was good.
It's good. In the end, everybody should have fun, and I think everyone had a really good European Championship so far.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So it's going to ask the referees to show on the screen.
Oh, so red built the next settlement and is leading by 4 points by now.
So Selma has definitely gone for the go out and dominate strategy.
Yes. Yeah. So where will she go next? Will she connect the old settlement with a new one? Will she go to the 9-2? Will she go to the harbor maybe?
So I think she'll be keen to connect her roads before Orange has a chance of cutting in between. I think, yeah, the longest road battle is looking like it will weave between red and orange here. So I think her first priority will be to block Orange from building across the centre of the board and join her roads up. But I expect every 7 to be firmly on red from here on in.
Even though it could be risky, she could also choose to build the road along the desert, because there she won't be fearing the intervention of Orange coming to the 9-2. So will she be faster than Orange, or will she avoid this risk?
Sandro says now red can go for development cards. What do you think?
Well, she's reached sheep, which makes the position even stronger. It's just if the 11 on her grain is rolled, or if anyone will trade her grain, that will still be her limit on development cards, her grain supply.
Yeah, my personal strategy would be trying to get the second city, building on the 11-9-4.
Yep.
Even knowing that the robber will be there.
Sure.
Living.
Yes.
Also, they say on the chat that the white maybe he should go for development and cities if he's settling on the 8 and 10. I imagine.
So, because he's trying to build down to the 8-10 there, so I think the comment is, should he be investing resources in doing that, or should he be putting the resources towards the development cards? I understand building to the 8 and 10 because then he'll have the double.
Yeah.
So then he'll be able to get through the pack.
Yes.
Quickly. But long term, absolutely, development cards is the only strategy that white has here.
Yes, certainly. And it's, 8 and 10 and 8 and 10,
That's risky.
It's risky.
That's risky.
But we saw at the World Championship in Durango last year that this risk can pay off. It was the winner, I think, who won with the 9.
Oh.
And that was rolled very often, and that was good for him.
Sometimes risk is
go big or go home.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the way. And there's also people that think that orange is out.
I mean, it's been hard to follow all of the dice rolls, but I don't think the 6 engine has really got going as quickly as Orange would hope here.
Yes, maybe it's too soon to say that, but let's see what happens.
Well, I assume Orange would love to change position with a white settlement on the brick harbor, assuming this position with a 6 and 9s, but 3-1 harbor can also change things. So I assume that will be the next move going there.
We have one here.
They're telling us. You can say something about it because people have seen.
Three blue, one white. Okay, yeah.
White has got a city here. Thank you.
White player has also a city. The second one in the game. Oh, people is complaining that it's difficult to see white in the video. Sorry. It's hard for us too.
We have the same problem.
We didn't expect that.
That's why I always choose white, because I want to see that they don't feel like they don't notice that you're building. You see red. Yeah.
So our viewers may not be able to pick up is the development card situation.
Mhm.
So far we see that blue has managed to get 4 development cards and white has 1. So if white is going to get the largest army, it's likely they'll have to do some catching up. We expect a number of those development cards that blue has to be white.
Yeah, and blue, we haven't seen much else from blue yet
Nope.
on the board, so that seems to be the focus currently.
Mhm.
More option for the orange.
More options. Yes.
So as you predicted, Benjamin, orange is trying to get to the
Mm-hmm.
3-1 ports.
Mm-hmm. And red is starting from the other side and going that way up. So she keeps the options open of competing the one side or going to the other side and avoiding orange.
Which is sensible given how strong orange is on the roads, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop. The cards are now on the screen.
Because the rubber is coming.
Ah. Someone asked if they are playing jazz using the base rules. Yes, I think so. There's no difference between.
They are playing the basic game rules. Yes, there is no difference there. Tournament rules do specify some things that people normally would maybe play different at home.
Mhm.
So this is a very fixed rule set. Also, depending on who starts, these questions get more of importance. Probably our contestant can tell more about how important it is to be the first one or the last one in the setup.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
And also, I think you can use the harbor in the same turn that you build them.
Yes, you can.
That is.
Those are the main differences, but it's more or less the same.
and that's the nice thing about tournament play, that even if you've already qualified, there's always something to play for, because you get to play for which starting position you get
Yes.
in the next rounds.
Mhm.
Mm.
So that's where tournament play feels quite different to
Very
social
strategic.
play. Yeah,
It sounds, yes.
and there are situations where, in order to increase your ranking, you might build some additional points, even if that isn't going to get you the victory, just to
Yeah.
increase your overall point total for the tournament.
Yeah.
Yes. And in fact, I think it was Selma who achieved 11 points in the very first game.
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah.
And there was the question whether you can have 11 points to increase your ranking and the scoring. But 10 points is the maximum because the game is won with 10 points. So that one was cleared. But in the case of a tie, it would have counted as the tiebreaker.
Okay. Yeah.
I can see what happened here.
Something happened there.
Yes.
Okay. Ivan says that he thinks that red player needs to go to the wood port if he wants to win. What do you think about it? You're talking about Selma from Netherlands.
I think the good thing for Selma is currently that she has many options open. I totally agree that the wood port would be a good strategy, considering she's very well distributed with numbers. She has the 3, the 10, the 4. She has a city on the 3 even, so yeah,
Mhm.
that could be the one trade that can make a difference at some point.
Yeah, I agree totally. That would be my next spot I'd be looking for a settlement in Selma's position.
She's very safe also in terms of the numbers there. I mean, we saw the rubber being placed at the 4, but 3, 10, 4, it's not the numbers you go for first. You go for the big ones, for 6 and 8, 5 and 9 maybe.
Yeah.
We can remind the name of the players. We have Selma Dorestem from Netherlands, red one, Evaldas Rutkauskas from Lithuania, blue. Milutin Nikolic from Serbia, white. And Martin Gaze from Norway, it's color orange. There are no Germany, there are no France, nor England, nor Italy. It's cool.
Yes, we have seen a rise in participants from many European countries lately. People are playing professionally, and the leagues
Yeah.
are growing and growing. And the more people participating in a national championship, the better the quality of the European Championship and the Worlds, as we have seen. Yes.
I think our winner from last time in the European Championships was from Poland. That was it.
As far as I
Leko Lak
remember,
from Poland.
yes.
Yeah.
Poland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Da, 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 da. We have a new city or village. Village there. Ah, you can. Ah, here. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. Color red builds a new
Yeah,
village.
a good fight here.
So that fight for the longest road between red and orange
As
is
predicted,
really coming to a
yes.
head now.
Yep.
Oh yeah, if
Both-
Orange can pass through, that will be strong for him to connect to the other part of his settlements.
Yeah.
That will be a strong move because Red cannot connect afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Martin will be very nervous at this point to get that road
Oh,
built
yeah,
because
I can imagine that.
that's his game strategy right there. If he doesn't get that road built, it's hard to see how he can compete in this game.
He must have had many cards on his hand probably because otherwise he would have saved this wood and
Yeah.
this brick
Yeah.
in order to surprise or use it otherwise in a round later in case
Yeah.
that Selma did that road before him.
And it's again noticeable in tournament play. There is almost a paranoia about having more than 7 cards in your hand.
Yeah.
No one ever likes losing their cards to the 7. Whereas in social play, you might take the risk. You might hold on to a big hand for the
Yes.
sake of doing a big move later on. But you see very little of that in tournament play. People often willing to trade 3 for 1 or even 4 to 1 just to
Mhm.
get
Yeah.
that
Just
hand
to avoid.
under the 7.
It seems that color blue has not good luck or something. It's a bit.
So the last time we looked, blue was on 4 development cards. I don't know if we have an update on
Mhm.
development cards.
So as far as I can see, we have 5 victory points for Selma
Yes.
from the Netherlands, being player red, and then head-to-head 4 victory points each. Orange, Martin, and white, Milutin. And blue has another death card. He must have played 2 before, so let's see what's underneath these death cards. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. And I think if I was Ivaldos or our white player who is
The blue one,
from
Milutin.
Milutin from Serbia, I think I'd be hoping for Martin to complete his road at this point. I think if I was in their position, I would see Selma having longest road and those 2 cities of the
Oh, yeah.
borders
It's very
maybe
strong.
being unstoppable.
Mhm.
So I think everyone apart from Selma will be hoping
Oh,
that
I
Martin
just
can
see
build
that
road.
Martin did it.
He's done it. Okay.
He's done it. Yeah.
Wow.
He blocked her.
Big moment in this final.
Oh, and he built a city.
Whoa. Orange is dividing the whole board.
And I think we probably have a new target as leader.
Yeah. On the chat, we see people that also is freaking out with orange movement right now.
Yes. I assume the 6 has been rolled a few times now.
Yes.
We know if there's any knight played. Knight. Sandro asks us by the chat if there's any knight played yet. It doesn't seem so.
No knights.
No knights. No knights on this city. Hmm. So, what options do you think right now all colors have?
So I think Orange will be very happy having cut off Red's opportunity for longest road, and as Orange, I'd now be looking to either trade to get ore and get my points through cities, or if the wood and clay keeps coming in, just expand further and maybe look to build 5 settlements, longest road for 2,
Oh.
and then cities. Yeah.
Yes, but now we see that blue is just seems to attack
The orange
Martin
position.
on this position.
Ah.
There is a third road built up to the same point, and actually Selma can also still come to this point and snatch away that settlement space.
So blue was not happy just to lay down the fight and let Martin have that longest road. So
Yes, the fight is open again. Maybe
exciting
blue,
move.
Yeah.
without any positioning on the brick field, surprised everyone with building 2 roads in
Yeah.
a row. Nobody expected that.
Could be.
Development card. Haven't.
With the longest road, with a development card, road building.
And it's when you're collecting development cards, looking for the largest army and victory points, and you're not expanding, it can sometimes be a frustrating card to draw, the road building card.
Yes.
But in this instance, it's looked like blue has used it very well to extend the game.
It was the right
Yeah.
moment for that card.
Yeah.
We have new White City.
Seems like what is doing his own.
Yeah.
And I'd still be happy in White's position at this point.
It's
if
not
the-
doing bad at all.
Yeah. People in the chat said that the blue thing, it's a nice blocking, but he won't personally benefit from that. Do you think so?
I think blue will think they will benefit through extending the game. Blue needs the game to go on a long time to, again, take on the development card deck. So, while the move itself, I don't think blue will end up with longest road, because blue does not have any clay.
Yeah.
I think it was a long-term move on blue's part.
Yes, I see it exactly that way. It was a good move for all players
For all
in that
players.
vein, and especially for blue to make the game longer. If he gets the settlement space there, which the other players are probably interested in, that will slow the game down.
Yeah. The rubber hasn't been moved in a long time.
So many development cards and apparently no knights.
Hmm. So how many points has each player right now?
5 for the yellow, for the orange, and 5 for the red, 5 also for white, and 2 for the blue.
Yes.
Both blue and orange need one road for the longest road, which would result in extra 2 victory points.
It's near. It's coming.
Mhm. I personally don't like to have the longest road at the beginning of the game because people
Well, still,
judge
yeah.
that you have 2 more victory points, but they don't count much at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're getting in the midterm of the game. Red just built another city, has 6 victory points.
And
So getting the longest road now is soon a
mhm.
strong position.
And
We see
finally,
we've seen the rubber go on to that 8 ore of reds,
yeah,
representing the strong position red is in.
the rubber travels to the mountains. So we have new
No,
people.
One night.
One night finally. So we have new people on our chat and telling us who is playing. We will remind it. Selma Dorestein from Netherlands, color red. Valdas Radkauskas from Lithuania, and color blue. Milutin Nikolic from Serbia, color white. And Martin Gaze from Norway, orange. Moved again. The rubber?
Yes, the knight was played.
Ah, with the first knight.
Player white played the knight.
So the white player clearly still sees orange as the main threat here, with the knight going on to the 6th clay of orange.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this is a good option?
I might have looked to hit red at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, especially after orange just lost the settlement spot
Yep.
and a good potential for the longest road. That is, I agree.
The experience of playing in a tournament is all of the players who are in this final have played hundreds of games of Catan
Sure.
in their life, and probably at least 50 or so competitive games of Catan, and they know the game inside out, and they will have made these kinds of decisions throughout their playing career. But you do feel a different pressure. You do feel you obviously have the crowd around. You've got the title at stake, and it can affect your thinking. And often the player who can keep their head the coolest, who can keep thinking well,
It's
will be the
difficult.
most successful player in the final.
They ask how many victory points blue has. I think we said 3.
Blue currently has 3 victory points, that is correct.
But also has 4 development cards which haven't been revealed yet. So there may be a number of victory points in there that no one in the room, except Ivaldos, knows about at the moment.
Oh, we see blue now move the rubber, played the first knight. So it seems my expectation would be there are some more knights, and he thinks the game is. It's time to play out these 3 knights.
Get the army
Yes.
before it finishes.
The army, yeah.
Hitting red and white again on the 8 of the mountain.
Coming back to the mountain. We did a little giveaway a few minutes ago, and Selma won. And he took Catan base game. I was a bit freaked out. She said that she didn't has it. I didn't believe her.
I think she was just pleased to have the Catalan edition. I think that's what she wanted.
Could be.
Well, we talked actually before, and she already said that she will have problems carrying all the prizes home that she will receive for being among the first 4 places. There's a lot of game boxes she needs to carry, so now she has one additional one.
Well,
Good luck in the customs.
if the problem is that you have many prizes, well, I don't know. White only have 2 cities. Yes, White only have 2 cities by now, I think. Some people in the chat says that the blue color can make a surprise soon. What do you think, Jesus?
After the movement to close the road for the yellow, blue is in the game. Yes, not before that.
And when you are playing, you're always thinking, well, what is my path to 10 points? So blue will be thinking, how can I make 10 points from this position? And if I was in blue's seat, I'd be thinking of the largest army for 2 of them. Probably getting to 1 more settlement place for a 4th point on the board, which is 6. Hopefully drawing some victory point cards from the deck. Where those last 2 points then come from is unclear. Maybe they get some good rolls with the wheat and can get a couple of cities. I think if blue can get a city soon, blue is definitely back in the game.
Yes, I think blue's advantage and maybe potential lies in that other players don't seem to invest much in development cards currently. So blue is leading there.
Yes.
He could.
About in this moment 2 more development cards in this moment.
White just bought 2 more development cards.
Wow.
Okay.
Maybe.
Not a
Otherwise-
surprise before. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have recommended blue focuses on building a city, and therefore getting more resources to then build even more development cards.
Agreed.
Red player, I think, hasn't done much since he was good. She was good instead.
Yes, and her very promising 8 ore mountain is blocked. So if now they're not the right dice rolls, that can block sometimes, and then players don't seem to trade much with her currently.
Yeah.
Which is another problem of being strong when you start. You often,
Yes,
even if your position then becomes not as strong, players will be slow to start trading with you.
agreed.
Well, one chat people says that blue also can take longest road. Do a surprise.
Blue has 4 roads, just like orange right now. However, orange has the potential with 2 settlements on the 6 and a city on the wood. So on the long term, it will be much easier for orange. Maybe also for red.
Yes, I'd be very surprised if blue finished with the longest road. Very surprised.
Who knows how many road building cards there are among his cards.
We have new cars, Jesus.
New development card, in this case for the orange.
And we've just seen Selma roll a 7 and get to move the robber off her 8 ore.
And
She is targeting white, so
it's coming here. Number 5. It's blocked.
and we said at the start that was a critical hex as the main grain producer in the game.
Oh yes.
Yes.
And Selma has decided to shut it right down.
And she blocks yellow and white, which are the 2 ones I would see as opponents to at this moment.
Agreed.
No wheat.
Means defeat. There's even a T-shirt to it.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
You know, wheat, meat, defeat. Like it. You have a cool one yesterday.
The wood for sheep one.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that one too.
Wood for sheep. You see the players very concentrated from here. It has been a long weekend. People has been playing very much.
Yes, and the later in the game, the longer it takes.
Yeah.
A Monopoly was played.
Monopoly was played.
Yes, by Evaldos.
And we're hearing that he played the Monopoly card on the wood.
Wood Monopoly from blue. Oh,
The 2 victory points for longest road are just handed to Evaldos. He took it, and
Evaldos can give a real surprise.
yes,
Second knight for white. Some people in chat says that blue player has 8 victory points now. Maybe.
So I think we've now only got 2 face down development cards for blue. So I think the maximum blue could be on at this point is 7.
yes,
However, as orange, I'd be looking to take that longer road sooner rather than later
yes,
to stop a surprise move by blue.
I agree. And blue needs to, build this one road to get to the 3-1 harbor, or maybe have another settlement space over there.
Although I think blue will be disappointed that white has been able to play that second knight card. So often in the race for the largest army, it's who gets to play the cards first who gets the 2 points.
Yeah.
So
You actually want to be the person who plays the third knight first, so you're leading by 1.
it takes a lot of time to overtake that.
That
At
could
least 2
actually,
turns.
that could raise the suspicion that blue has other cards than knights.
I'd agree. I think we can speculate still, but fairly certain they might be victory points.
At least 1.
Yeah. So I still very much like white's position here, in a strong position to take
Mm-hmm.
largest army.
Yeah, some 8s rolled, some 5s maybe, and then it goes faster as you can think.
We haven't seen much from orange or red in the past
Yes.
couple of rounds, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond to the threat of white at this point.
They are trading wood for stone. Oh,
Red is building 2 roads,
Going,
getting to the wood port,
yes.
As
the
some
blue
spectators-
harbor, maybe.
already suspected.
yeah. So red has a very long road now.
Still not longer than blues,
No.
but also a little bit more potential with all this wood and brick.
Jesús.
Now the fight for the largest army is open.
Two knights against two knights.
Yeah.
Who will have the third one? Blue still has two covered cards,
Yep.
while white has none as far as has one.
Caballeros. So the situation it's well very open right now. I think anyone can win. You think or not?
Yes, yes, it's
Yes,
Catan.
yeah.
It's Catan, yeah.
It depends how they cooperate. Unfortunately, we can't hear their conversation.
Nope.
I'd be interested to see how much trading is happening, how much bartering, how much complaining, how much pointing out emotions. This is all part of the game. We don't know.
Complaining is important, yeah.
Complaining is a key sometimes.
Ivan says that white has a really difficult game at this point.
I think it really comes down to the race for the army.
Mhm.
I think if white can stay ahead, white's got a chance.
Yes, white would need a port. With all that sheep coming in for the 10.
Ooh, the robbers
At
coming
least-
back to the mountains.
Yeah.
And that does not help for white.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, but if I were blue or yellow, that would obviously be my hexagon of choice.
Yeah.
There's a lack of stone right now.
Yes. And it still seems to have worked out for red, having 3 cities. Which can also make a big difference if the red numbers come up in a row. You get a lot of resources.
Yeah. Selma hasn't construct well the long road yet.
Mm-hmm.
A few turns ago. Yep.
And we've been seeing quite a large number of 11s being rolled. So we've actually ended up with more grain in the game than we were expecting with both grains on the 11.
Yes.
Which has helped Selma very much.
The players are serious. We see them from here. They are not doing jokes. I don't understand why.
White turn? White's turn, right? Okay, so we see that white did not have the third knight.
Whoa.
Otherwise, they should have played it.
Mm.
Instead, it's an invention. Or is it a road building? I can't see it from here. No, it's an invention. 2 cards of your choice you can take.
New city for white.
As you said, Benjamin, white would really love somewhere to trade all of that sheep, but there's not an obvious place
Well,
to get to.
2 roads and then the 3-to-1 harbor, but it's a lot of work for a 3-to-1 harbor. That's part of the game. And 5 roads to the sheep harbor.
Yeah.
That is too long.
Wow. Pretty far. They are trading. Selma has a lot of cars. You see it from here.
As for those of you listening on the live stream and you hear us saying things like we can see it from here, as a commentary team we're situated quite a long way away from the game table itself. So clearly we can't be making suggestions and comments that are going to influence the play. So if you're wondering why we're sometimes not able to tell exactly what's been rolled or exactly what's been traded, it's because we're situated away from the
Yes.
board and watching on the
Respect.
same stream that you're watching on.
Yeah, more or less.
Yellow build. I think yellow built a new settlement. Yes,
New settlement for yellow.
at the 2 and the 9 of orange brick. So finally we see some movement again here.
Yep. And it always gives you a bit of a boost of morale just to do something sometimes when you haven't built or you feel like in a weaker position.
Yes.
Just getting a settlement down or a couple of
Mhm.
rows can just give you a boost of morale.
Yeah. So, who's the player who has more points right now?
So it is Blue's turn. Will he play the third knight?
The third knight.
Even though, actually, if I were Blue, I wouldn't, because the robber is not on his fields, and no one else has the threat.
They are asking if there is someone that stole the red card.
So not yet. It looks like both red and orange are waiting for their moment to take that longest row card off blue. But we've now seen that blue has also got the largest army. So I'm sure the players will be looking to shut down those 2 points on the road sooner rather than later.
Absolutely
Because
agree.
a few rolls you can get from 7 to 10 very quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was important for Selma, the red player, to get the wood harbor first.
Yeah.
But a 2-to-1 trade can be powerful. I assume the race for the longest road will start very soon.
Yeah.
And we see that orange also built a city on their last turn. So we now have 7 points for orange on the board.
Yes.
We have 7 points for red. 3 for blue on the board, but with both the largest army and the longest row currently, and white on 6. So if either red or orange are able to get hold of that longest road card, which we think they're trying to do, that will take them to 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
And blue has more points now.
This is very interesting.
Yeah.
And he has many cards in his hand currently.
There's a lot of people here watching the screen, expecting. Thrilling.
If blue was able to make this, then I'm honestly surprised. But in the end, this is Catan, and it actually fits to what Joe said before. Sometimes the robber will be played against leading players, and you can't do much as a leading player, and then you're coming from 3 victory points up to winning.
Yeah. At the beginning, it seemed like blue wasn't inside.
Mm-hmm. And
Now
he
it's
even
leading.
He built another road, so having 6 roads now, leading by 1.
And with still that one unplayed development card.
Yeah.
So there could be another point sitting
Ooh.
there. So blue could possibly be on 9 here. I'd
Yep.
be very surprised if orange and red didn't create some trading situation here to allow one of them to
Yes.
take the longest road.
Yes.
They should at this point.
New village for white. No harbor, the coast.
Yellow plays a night card.
Night card.
So Martin wants to
Yellow.
get rid of this rubber on his brick field with the 9.
So
He will need it for building roads.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Martin puts this rubber, because so far it's been going on that 8 of ore. But I wonder
assume-
whether blue will be
Yeah.
targeted at this point.
yeah, people on the chat says that orange must stole the road to blue.
Either orange or red, but yeah, they both could.
If not, maybe we are close to the end.
If orange gets the road, he has 9 points as well.
As well,
So
yeah, yep.
This won't be in the interest of red neither.
So
We could still see it change many hands before the end. Change
Mhm.
hands many times.
Well, as expected, the robber gets back to his home in the 8 mountain.
yeah, Robert likes 8 mountain.
Which is bad for Milutin, who just built a new settlement there.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think Milutin will not be feeling wonderful about his position anymore. I think that's that 3rd development card he bought. He would have been really hoping that was a knight.
I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we just think that are the possibilities of player red Selma.
I think if Martin doesn't win on this turn, I think Sam will be looking to take that longest road herself.
Yes, but Martin just built a city, as I see. So he did not take that road.
Ooh.
Maybe forcing red to take it off blue rather than doing it himself.
Or he does it next turn because he would have 8 points as well. He
Yup.
has 8, and then he would have 10.
Bit dangerous if blue can get 1 more point, which only takes 1 draw from the development card deck.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So
So I wonder if he just simply didn't have the resources to build the roads despite his setup.
Mm-hmm.
orange and blue can give a surprise.
I mean, orange would have needed 3 roads. That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a little amount
No.
of roads.
Nope.
And I think Selma has just rolled a 7, so
The rubber.
that rubber will be moving.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if she has enough to build the 2 roads she'd need.
It's
the
between
longest road.
Martin and Evaldos on the wood with the 6, which is a place it hasn't been before, right?
No.
Yeah, that's true. Sama lost half of her cars with a 7.
Her city go down.
So he had 1
Presume she got
victory
roads.
point.
She had victory points.
He has the victory point card that we assumed.
So
Got 1 more point with the city. And the 2 points for largest army and 2 points for longest road.
Wow.
Then finally,
That
we
was
have a winner.
surprising, and we have a winner. Evaldos Rutkauskas from
Lithuania.
Lithuania.
Yeah. So blue color won.
Mm-hmm.
And Evaldos from Lithuania is the winner of the European Championship of Catan here.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Has been, I think, a great match
It
because
has been a great match, yeah.
we didn't saw it coming at the beginning.
I think it shows the beauty of the game, doesn't it?
It is.
Jesus, what do
none
you
of us were
think? Has
calling
been
it.
funny?
It's a very nice game, and at the beginning we cannot beat for the blue, but what's a big surprise at the end of the game was very tight between yellow, also red and blue. It was a very nice game.
Lithuania for the win. It's very good.
Yes.
And thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, John. Thank you, Jesus, for coming here and commenting with us this great match.
Thank you for hosting us. It's been great fun spending this final with you.
Yeah,
Absolute pleasure to be here.
great. Well, keep on playing and see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.